Hey guys, I'm back and we are here for day one of 12 Days of Christmas. Yay! So, I decided to do 12 Days of Christmas this year. And the idea is to make something better to get ready for 2025. So, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of see what are on my two bookshelves downstairs that I have been, telling you about. Well, you've seen, they look crazy. It's these right here. So it's these shelves right here. So I have two shelves here and they have about 12 sections, and you're going to see me go through each section every day until Christmas. So you're going to see what I'm going to keep. You're going to see what I'm going to give away. You're going to see at the end how they look all together, neatly organized, and with new books added in with them. So get your tea, because we're going to start with this shelf right here. Right here. This one right here. Ooh, child. There's stuff in there I hadn't seen in years. So we're going to see. We're going to see. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. So got all the books off the shelf. There are literally 2 shopping bags worth of books here. And I don't think I've read any of them. Jesus wept. Okay, so let's just get started with what we've got here. So the first 2 books that I pulled off the shelf, this is the first one. It's called The Keepers of the House by Shirley Ann Grau. Now, I remember I purchased this book because I think it won the Pulitzer in 1965. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shirley Ann Grau, yeah. And it's supposed to be really good. This is what I hear. So I picked it up. I said, okay, let me, come in. I'm curious to see what's on this Pulitzer list. I haven't read all of the Pulitzer, list, but I'm getting there. So I thought, okay, let me get this. Now, yeah, it did. It says it right here. It won it in 1965. And it says Masterwork from Shirley Ann Grau. A many-layered indictment of racism and rage that is as terrifying as it is wise. So that's her right here. This is Shirley Ann Grau. And this is The Keepers of the House. So I think I'm going to keep this one because, yeah, it's one of the books. Like I said, it's 1965 winner of the Pulitzer, and I want to get through the Pulitzer list. So I'm going to keep this one with the intention of really reading it. Okay, so that's in the keep pile. All right, now this next one. I don't think this is one that I'm even going to try to read at this point. It's been too long, too much water under the bridge. But it's called Book of Numbers by Joshua Cohen. Now, I remember picking this up because I was supposed to read it with another booktuber at the time. He is no longer a booktuber. It's Camille, What Camille Reads. That was his channel back in the day. I think his channel is still up. I'm not sure. He's Polish and he reads in English. And he did great videos, and we were, book buddies. And so we said, let's get this one and read it together. And we never got a chance to read it together. I don't know what happened, but it's a beautiful book. Massive, chunky one. It's coming in at some ungodly number of pages. 580 pages. This is Joshua Cohen right here. He was born in Atlantic City. And I don't know, this is probably like maybe his 4th or 5th novel. I'm not sure. But the book is done really well. It's got like a modern twist to it. Even down to where the page numbers are written and stuff. But you know what? I really don't know if I'm ever going to get to this book. And I don't even know if I really want to get to this book. I'm going to read you a little bit what it says. It says, a novel about two men of the same age and with the same name. Joshua Cohen, the first Joshua, our narrator, is a writer whose keenly anticipated debut, a nonfiction chronicle of his mother's survival of World War II, had the bad luck to be published on September 11, 2001. And within a decade, his career fizzled into a series of freelance book reviews for hire, product endorsements, and other varieties of literary hack work. The other, Joshua, is the enigmatic billionaire founder and CEO of Tetration, the world's most vital and most profitable tech company, which started by revolutionizing the search engine and later ventured into smartphones, computer manufacturing, and global surveillance. I don't know. I really don't know. This could just be one of those, kind of modern type retellings that doesn't really pan out to be a great story. Yeah, I'm going to put this in giveaway, sell, or something, because it's in perfect condition. Okay, now the next book I have on my list is Ian McEwan, and he is a Scottish author. This is Solar. This is a book that came out in 2010, and I find him a fascinating writer because his books are so, the topics that he writes about are so different sometimes, but at the same time have sometimes similar themes. So I picked this one up because it was new at the time and I didn't get to it, but I think I'm going to keep this one because Ian McEwan. Okay, Ian McEwan, I'm going to keep it. Yeah, I feel like this one is going to be an interesting one to pick up. All right, the next two books I have on my list, or should I say the next two books that I had on my shelf, are two books by Wally Lamb. Now, Wally Lamb is an author who's written quite a few books. I think I've only read one book by Wally Lamb. Let me see. Is that right? Have I read any books by him? Wait, let me just see. No, I have not read any books by Wally Lamb. So I started to get some of them so that one day that when I decided to go on my Wally Lamb spree, and I could start reading those and I would have them there. And I think I might have more than these two, but these were the two that were on the top shelf. So we have The Hour I First Believed. Interesting cover. And this one is We Are Water. And I remember when We Are Water came out. I remember a lot of people talking about it. So I will be keeping these Wally Lambs because I'm still determined to read all of Wally Lamb's books because he is known for being a very interesting storyteller. He writes stories out of things that are a little bit strange, but that have a lot of things that are themes, that we deal with every day in families and in friendships and things like that. So I will be keeping these two, and I think I might have some more Wally Lamb somewhere. I'm just saying. So I'm keeping these. All right. Now, the next ones I have. This is another writer that I'm interested in reading and I have not read just yet, and that is Lionel Shriver. So Lionel Shriver, this is one book that I had picked up, which is called The Post-Birthday World. This one right here, and it's a huge chunker. Oh yeah, okay, I see. This one is a huge chunker. You know why? Because this is one of those. I bought this one on cheaply on one of those, I don't know what you call them, one of those cheap sites, and it turns out to be one of these books where the print is really big. I don't care. I'm going to read it. So she's the author that wrote We Need to Talk About Kevin. And I know I have it somewhere, that copy, but I don't know if it's on this shelf or not. But I definitely want to read books from her, because We Need to Talk About Kevin I haven't read yet. I haven't read this one. And I also have this one, Big Brother, which was one that had come out. I don't know when this was. Maybe 2013. So there's this one. And I'm sure I must have We Need to Talk About Kevin and maybe another one somewhere. But I'm keeping all of these for sure. Next, we have a series of small books, very, very tiny ones. So the first one is this one, The World is Round, and this is by Nikki Finney. Nikki Finney's poetry, I really like it. I've read quite a few of her poetry collections, but this one I have not read. So I'm definitely keeping this one. I might even read this one before December. Yeah, Nikki Finney. So if you don't know who Nikki Finney is, go look her up. Fantastic. All right. Then I have this one right here, which is called Beast of No Nation by Uzodinma Iweala. This is Beast of No Nation. And so this is a story about a child soldier. And it's supposed to be hard-hitting, poignant. Oh, nice bookmark. And it's supposed to be like one of those novels that is just poignant about the child soldier. I don't know exactly where this is supposed to take place. It doesn't say in particular. It says in an African country. So he's trying to make sort of like a universal theme around child soldiers to this novel. But I've heard only good things about it, so I picked it up. And I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to keep this one. The next one is this one. It's called Parole Zen. And this is a book in French, which was a gift. Somebody gave me this. I don't remember who it is. But I do like this book, and I have read this book. I read one. So this one has like little quotes, Zen quotes with like a picture next to it. And it's called the Counting de Sagesse. It's like a notebook of wisdom. So yes, I love this. It was a gift. I've read it. One book I've read. One. And I'm going to keep this. Okay, the next book is this one right here. This one was a recommendation back in the day. I don't know how long ago this was. This was a long time ago. This is, let's see. It's called To Be a Slave by Julius Lester. And I want to say this might even be middle grade, I think. I'm not sure. I think it is middle grade. But it came out 1998, something like that. It's got the Newbery honor, but I think this is middle grade. Will I be keeping this? Yes, I will be keeping this. Have I read it? No, I have not. But what I do like about this one is the artwork inside is done extremely well. Check out that artwork. So I think this is a really good one. Look at this artwork, how beautiful it is. So yeah, To Be a Slave, this one I'm keeping. Okay, this next one, it's a little bit like I have I don't know what you call it, like I don't know, I'm not a Jean Toomer fan, but I have not read Cain. So I remember reading some excerpts of Jean Toomer in college, and I remember not enjoying it at all. So this one is a literary masterpiece of the Harlem Renaissance. It says, Cain is a powerful work of innovative fiction evoking Black life in the South. The sketches, poems, and stories of Black rural and urban life that make up Cain are rich in imagery. So I'm not a fan of Jean Toomer's work, but I'm going to keep this one. Harlem Renaissance, I'm going to have to hunker down and get serious about reading came. Okay, now, you remember how I just said, I think I have some more books by Lionel Shriver, but I haven't read them yet. So this is A Perfectly Good Family by Lionel Shriver. Yeah, I'm going to keep it because I'm going to go on a Lionel Shriver reading thing. And then here's the other one, So Much for That. This came out in, let's see, when did this one come out? This one, I don't know when this one came out. This one came out in 2010. It's a bit of a chunker, but you know, I'm not afraid of chunkers. And of course, here it is. We need to talk about Kevin, which is the most, I mean, this is the book. When people talk about this book, they start getting grim and they start getting super sad. They say this book is unfreaking believable in the sense that it is so spot on and that it's creepy and kind of, yeah, like it makes you not want to be a parent. That's what 3 people told me that. This book makes you not want to be a parent. I went, oh, Lord Jesus. Because it says in the bottom, harrowing, tense, and thought-provoking. Even the cover is kind of creepy. So, yeah, I will be keeping that because, like I said, I'm going to do Lionel. I'm going to start reading more Lionel Shriver because I need to get through that. Okay, now this one, I don't know. It's called Waiting for Columbus. It's by somebody called Thomas Trofimuk. It's got these Richard and Judy Book Club sticker from 2010. I have no idea. I think I may have been gifted this because I don't know what. It says, he appears out of the sea, washed up naked in the treacherous straits of Gibraltar. Seemingly delirious and claiming to be Christopher Columbus, he is taken to an insane asylum in Seville, where astonishingly he starts to reveal the true story of how he set sail on behalf of the Spanish Queen 500. I don't care. I'm not reading this. Trash. So how many books is that so far that I've read? 2. 2 books I've read so far. All right. So the next 3 are from one of my favorite authors, Tom Robbins. B is for Beer. Now I have read this one. So that's number 3. This is kind of it's kind of like a fairy tale kind of thing. It's got pictures in there. You know, this is Tom Robbins just being his Tom Robbins creative, crazy self. So yeah, I'm keeping that. The next one is called Half Asleep in Frog Pajamas. Now, I have not read this one. This came out in 1994. Now, keep in mind, I've read quite a lot of Tom Robbins. I have read Another Roadside Attraction, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, Jitterbug Perfume, Skinny Legs and All. I have read those. But I have not read this one. And this one is When the Stock Market Crashes on the Thursday before Easter, you, an ambitious, although ineffectual and not entirely ethical young broker, are convinced you're facing the weekend from hell. Before the market reopens on Monday, you're going to have to scramble and scheme to cover your butt, but there's no way you can anticipate the baffling disappearance of a 300-pound psychic, the fall from grace of a born-again monkey, or the intrusion into your life of a tattooed stranger intent on blowing your mind and most of your fuses. Now, that description sounds like a typical Tom Robbins book. Crazy, but a fun ride. Crazy, but a fun ride. All right, now this is his other one, which is, it's called Still Life with Woodpecker, and it looks like a cigarette pack. This is another one that I have not yet read, and I will definitely be reading because Tom Robbins, who doesn't want to read a Tom Robbins? If you don't know who he is and you haven't read any Tom Robbins, I recommend you go and you read any of the ones that I mentioned before. Another Roadside Attraction, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. One of my favorites is Jitterbug Perfume. And alongside with that is Skinny Legs and All is definitely my ultimate favorite. So this one is another kind of love story. I will definitely be reading that. And it had this bookmark in here. from a bookstore that I used to go to when I was teaching in the beginning, but it's no longer, the bookstore is closed now. So yeah, I'm keeping all of that. Okay, here's Skinny Legs and All, my favorite. Oh, there's a nice bookmark. Oh, look at the bookmark. Look at the bookmark. So this one is the one that is my ultimate favorite from him, which I have read twice. And I probably will read a third time. I'm sure I'll read it a third time. So that's Skinny Legs and All. I'm keeping that. All right, now, next I have this one right here, which is called This is the Water by Yannick Murphy. This is a novel about murder. I have not read this one, but I'm going to keep this one because I remember this was recommended to me. I can't remember exactly who it was, but they said this one was real good. And I do like a good murder or mystery or something every now and then. It said, this is the novel about a woman, about a mother, about a marriage. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to read this one. And it's Yannick Murphy. So I'm keeping that, the last one. The second to last one is called The Last September by Elizabeth Bowen. Now, this is obviously the movie cover. I absolutely do not remember buying this book. Let me just see what this is about. It says, centered on the doomed world Danielstown, The Last September is a sharply perceived comedy of manners set in the time of the Irish Troubles. Ooh. The ambushes and burnings seem far removed up at the Great House, where they are preoccupied by the tennis parties and dances, not to mention flirtations with English officers from the local garrison. But behind the trees, pressing in from the open and empty country like an invasion, the orange bright sky crept and smoldered, foreshadowing the tragedy which reaches its climax in the calm, opulent sunlight of an Irish autumn. Okay, I do not remember buying this book, but it sounds good because I like these books that are set during the Irish Troubles. They usually make for very good stories. And this was obviously made into a movie, which I did not see. So yes, I'm keeping this one. All right. Okay, I have another Tom Robbins. This is Fierce Invalids Home from Hot Climates. I did read this one. There's another one that I read. It's a rocking and rolling kind of thing. Here you go. Here's your man, Tom Robbins. You see what we're dealing with. This guy is, he's from like another time. And he always brings his time into our time. And it's always a fun, interesting ride. Yeah, I'm keeping this one, of course. That goes in my Tom Robbins collection. All right. Now, this one I do remember picking up. It was on one of these book sales somewhere in Paris. But it's Children of the Night, the best short stories by Black writers, 1967 to the present. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one because a lot of these authors, I own the book. Let's just see who's in there. So for slavery, they have Samuel Delaney, Shirley Ann Williams, John Edgar Wineman, A Personal Past, Andrea Lee, Jewel Parker Rhodes, Changing Times. There's Diane Oliver, Ann Petrie. I'm gonna keep it. It's just that it's quite a big one, but I'm gonna keep it. All right, so that's bag one empty. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22 books so far that I'm putting back on the shelf. All right, now let's just see. Wait, I'm gonna have to shift some things around because we have like a lot here. I'm only giving away 2 for the moment. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now this is a series. I think I might give this away because I really don't perceive myself reading and liking this because it's fantasy. It's the Philip Pullman series, with The Subtle Knife, The Amber Spyglass, and Northern Lights. I think somebody gave this to me because they wanted to get rid of it, but I don't think I'm going to read that. So, yeah, y'all know what that is. All right, this is another book. It's called Amazar, a Novel of Morocco. Actually, this is a colleague who wrote this. And I tried to read it twice and I'm giving it away. Here is a middle grade that I've been wanting to read, which is Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. It also has a Newbery, I think, award here. And this is one that I have not read. When I was a child, I don't think this book was out. But look how cool the inside cover is. This is a 40-year edition. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. It's very beautiful. Special edition. So yeah, I'm keeping that. Now, here I have, I don't know about this. I don't think I'm going to read this. This is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón and The Angel's Game by Carlos Luis Zafón. Although this is a beautiful book, like it's beautiful. I think this is a series. I think this might be book 3. This is book 1. And I don't know if I have book 2. But anyway, I don't think I'm keeping these. I think I'm going to sell those or give them away. All right, the next book I have are Jonathan Coe books. Now, Jonathan Coe is a British writer that I think I've seen 2 of his books that have been turned into films, but I've got a bunch of his books here. So we have The Rotters Club. It's in perfect condition because I haven't read it yet. We have The Closed Circle, because he writes a lot about friendship and just life in Britain kind of thing. And then I have The Rotters Club twice. I have the same book twice. And I think it's because I wanted it in a series. So it's like this. So you have The Accidental Woman, The Rotters Club, and The Dwarves of Death. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's some kind of a trilogy, although I'm not sure. So this one I will be getting rid of. And these 3 I will be keeping alongside this one, The Closed Circle. Okay, next on my list, I have this one right here, which is The Orinda by Joseph Boyden. Now, I remember this one was really popular. People said how good it was. Turned out Joseph Boyden isn't really Native American or Native Canadian. He lied to write this book, and it won the Scotia Bank Giller Prize. If I remember that's what the thing was about this particular book, The Orinda, and Joseph Boyden. So I'm not going to be keeping this one. I don't think I'm going to bother to read it. Okay, now this is Jonathan Franzen. Yes, I will be keeping this one. I do have other Jonathan Franzen, so hopefully I'll be able to put them all together. This is not one that I was able to get signed because I could not bring so many books with me, and this is a really big chunker. But yeah, I'm interested in reading all of Jonathan Franzen's books. Okay, next I have Alexander Dumas. And this is a book in French, and this is about Dumas' life. It should be interesting. I have not read this one yet, but we'll definitely be getting to it eventually. Okay, now this one, somebody gave this to me. It's called Zora and Me, The Cursed Ground. This is a middle grade book. I did not read this book, so I'm going to be giving this one away as well. It looks like it's very interesting, though. All right, the end of the bag. So I have this one right here, which is The Guncle, which I still have not read yet. like, why have I not read The Guncle yet? By Stephen Roll. I think there's even a second part to The Guncle has already come out. It came out, I think, this year. All right, and then I have this one right here, The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfeld, which I did read years ago with my book club. I think I remember enjoying it. I don't think I loved it, but I think I liked it like a 3-star. So I don't think I'm going to keep this one because I'll never read that again. And then I have here an Ann Tyler, which I do like Ann Tyler's story writing. This one's called The Amateur Marriage. Have not read this one yet, but have read this other one. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. I think it's called Digging to America was the first one that I read. So this one is supposed to be very interesting. So this is like another family saga. So I'm gonna definitely keep this one. Okay, so that's it. Second bag done. Looks like I'm dumping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm only dumping 10 books. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, let me know below what you think of this crazy list of books, you know. As you know, I am a very wide reader, so I read lots of things. The only thing I don't really get down with that much is reading fantasy and sci-fi. I prefer watching my fantasy and sci-fi. And I haven't read a lot of romance. It's not that I poo-poo romance or anything. It's just that I don't gravitate naturally towards that. But I hope to be reading some romance in 2025. So let me know if there are any of these authors particularly that you like to read, like Wally Lamb, Jonathan Coe, Ann Tyler, who else? Tom Robbins. There's quite a, you know, let me know which ones you read and love or want to read and love. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. So that is the end of your first day of 12 Days of Christmas. I feel like it's Christmas here because I just realized there's about 40 books here that I need to read that I hadn't been reading, you know. So I feel like it's Christmas. So now I'm going to go and arrange my shelf. But you won't really see that until the 12th day. So Christmas Day, when I'll have them completely organized. Because I organize my books by authors. I put all the books together by the same author. I'm not one of these people that does, the whole series kind of thing. Because if you do that, you wind up having things separated. And I don't like that. I just like my author's books to be together. And so that's what I'm going to do. So stay tuned for day 2 of 12 Days of Christmas. See you tomorrow. Bye.